When Elon Musk drives through a quiet neighborhood, his mind is full of the day's demands, meetings, deadlines, and innovation. But something catches his eye, an old broken-down car in the middle of the street. A man in his 50s, covered in grease, struggles to fix the engine. Without thinking, Elon pulls over. What starts as a simple offer to help turns into an unexpected encounter with a man whose resilience and wisdom challenge Elon's usual high-tech world. A conversation unfolds, and Elon finds himself drawn to the man's humble yet powerful outlook on life, wondering if there's more to innovation than just technology. As Elon steps out of the car, the hot summer air hits him. The neighborhood is quiet, the sound of birds chirping and the soft hum of distant traffic. The car sits in the middle of the street, clearly out of place. The man's hands are covered in grease, his clothes worn and weathered. Despite the grime, there's something calm and determined about the way he's working. He's not frustrated, but rather focused, as if he's done this 1,000 times before. Elon approaches slowly, his curiosity piqued. "Need some help?" he asks, his voice casual but warm. The man looks up, blinking in surprise, clearly not expecting anyone to stop, let alone someone as well-dressed as Elon. For a moment, he simply studies Elon, unsure of what to make of the situation. He wipes his brow with the back of his hand and gives a tired smile. "It's been a while since I've had to do this," he says, his voice rough but carrying a quiet pride. "But I can't afford a mechanic. Just trying to get this old thing running again." Elon crouches down beside him, taking in the scene. The worn-out car, the man's steady hands, and the determination that seems to flow through every move he makes. "Impressive," Elon remarks, genuinely surprised. "You seem like you know your way around this." The man nods without looking up, his hands still working diligently on the engine. "I used to be a mechanic," he says, his voice carrying a weight of experience. "But after the factory shut down, jobs got scarce. So I fix whatever I can, mostly for people who can't afford a shop." Elon leans in a bit closer, his curiosity growing. He's used to working with engineers, brilliant minds who solve problems with advanced technology. But here is a man, working in the street, solving problems with little more than his hands and knowledge. "You know, I'm usually surrounded by engineers, but I don't often meet people who can actually fix things like this," Elon says with a grin, still fascinated by the man's calm demeanor. The man chuckles softly, a sound full of acceptance and humility. "Well, sometimes it's not about having the best tools. It's about having the patience to keep trying until something works." There's a depth to his words, a wisdom that Elon rarely encounters in the world of high-tech innovation. The man isn't just fixing a car. He's applying a mindset that goes beyond mechanics. It's about determination, persistence, and finding solutions in the face of adversity. As the conversation continues, Elon learns that the man's name is Jack. Jack tells Elon how he once had a family, a house, and a steady career. But as the economy shifted and the factory he worked for shut down, his life took a downturn. Now he spends his days fixing cars for extra cash, doing what he can to get by. Despite the hardship, Jack's voice remains filled with a quiet optimism. "I've had my share of setbacks," he says, looking up at Elon with a gaze that's calm but unyielding. "But I still find joy in helping others. Every time I fix a car for someone, it's like I've given them a piece of hope. It's not much, but it's something." Elon is struck by the resilience in Jack's words. It's a story he's heard before, but never quite like this. Jack's quiet strength resonates with him. This man has no fortune to his name, but he has something much more valuable: a willingness to help others, to keep going despite the odds. For a moment, Elon feels a pull in his chest, a desire to do something more, to make a difference in a way he hadn't considered before. There's a realness to Jack that feels rare in the world Elon occupies. Elon crouches down beside Jack, his curiosity deepening with every movement of the man's hands. The air around them feels heavier, filled with the sound of Jack's deliberate actions. Elon watches closely as the older man works, his steady hands deftly handling each part of the engine. There's something grounded about Jack that Elon finds both fascinating and unfamiliar. The simplicity of the task, the focus in his eyes, and the rhythmic patience with which he approaches the problem. Elon has spent his life in the world of complex algorithms and cutting-edge technology, where problems are often solved with software or artificial intelligence. Yet here, in front of him, is a man solving a problem with nothing but his hands and experience. "It's impressive what you're doing," Elon says, his voice full of genuine admiration. "You seem like you know your way around this." Jack, not pausing his work, simply nods, his focus unwavering. "I used to be a mechanic," he says, the words coming with a hint of nostalgia. "But after the factory shut down, jobs got scarce. So, I fix whatever I can, mostly for people who can't afford a shop." Elon listens intently, surprised by the depth of Jack's knowledge. There's a quiet wisdom in the way Jack speaks, as though he's seen more in his life than many who have climbed to the top of their professions. "You know, I'm usually surrounded by engineers," Elon admits, a small grin on his face. "But I don't often meet people who can actually fix things like this." Jack laughs, a low sound full of experience and acceptance. It's not a laugh of arrogance, but one of self-assurance, as if he knows exactly where he stands in life. "Well, sometimes it's not about having the best tools. It's about having the patience to keep trying until something works." Elon pauses for a moment, struck by the simplicity of the statement. In the world he operates in, solutions are often the result of innovation and the newest technology, tools that make everything faster, more efficient, and more scalable. Yet Jack's words challenge the foundations of how Elon views problem solving. It's not just about technology, it's about perseverance, humility, and resilience, values that Elon, despite all his technological advancements, doesn't always consider. "You know," Elon continues, leaning in just a little closer, "I spend most of my time surrounded by the smartest engineers and developers, but I rarely meet people who have this kind of approach. It's refreshing." Jack doesn't respond immediately, but continues his work, the engine slowly coming to life with each adjustment. Elon watches him for a moment longer, the realization hitting him like a sudden wave. This encounter is teaching him something he hadn't expected. While he spent his life creating machines to make the world more efficient, Jack is teaching him about something more fundamental, the human side of problem solving. "It's more than just tools, isn't it?" Elon says, his voice quieter now, more reflective. "It's about finding a way to make things work, no matter how old or worn down they might be." Jack looks up at him, his eyes meeting Elon's with a quiet, knowing gaze. "Exactly," he replies. "Sometimes, you just have to get your hands dirty and try until it works. It's not about perfection. It's about making something work when the world says it's broken." For a moment, the two of them stand in silence. Elon feels a shift in his thinking, as if this conversation, this simple exchange of ideas, has made him see things from a different perspective. Jack, a man with no formal training and no wealth, has given him a lesson he's never learned in the world of high-tech innovation. It's not just about cutting-edge tools, it's about the willingness to see value in things that are broken, and the determination to fix them, no matter how difficult the task might seem. As the conversation continues, Elon listens more intently, drawn in by Jack's story. The man's name is Jack, and as he speaks, Elon realizes that Jack's life has been one of resilience in the face of hardship. Jack tells Elon about his past, the time when he had a family, a house, and a stable career. Everything seemed to be going well, but as the economy shifted, his world turned upside down. His factory job disappeared, and with it, so did his sense of security. Jack pauses, wiping his brow with the back of his hand as he continues to work on the car. There's no bitterness in his voice, just quiet acceptance. "I used to have it all," Jack admits, his voice tinged with nostalgia. "But when the factory shut down, things got tough. I've had to change with the times. Now I spend my days fixing cars for extra cash, just doing what I can to get by." Elon watches Jack, struck by his calm strength. Here is a man who has seen everything fall apart around him, yet he remains determined to keep going. There's no self-pity, no resentment, only a quiet acceptance of his circumstances. Jack's life may have been shaped by setbacks, but he carries himself with a sense of purpose that's rare in a world that often values material success over resilience. "I've had my share of setbacks," Jack says, his voice steady, yet filled with an unusual warmth. "But I still find joy in helping others. Every time I fix a car for someone, it's like I've given them a piece of hope. It's not much, but it's something." Elon listens, the weight of Jack's words sinking in. Jack's ability to see value in the smallest of actions, like fixing a car, strikes Elon deeply. In his own world, Elon has often been consumed by grand visions, striving to make a revolutionary impact on the world. But Jack shows him a different kind of value, the value of small human actions that make a real difference in people's lives. There's a shift in Elon's perspective as he sits there, watching Jack work. He's always been about the big picture, the global impact of technology. But in Jack, Elon sees something that technology alone cannot achieve: the human connection. Jack's work doesn't just fix cars, it fixes lives. It gives people a sense of hope, a feeling that even when things seem broken, they can be repaired. For a moment, Elon feels a pull in his chest, a realization that maybe, just maybe, he's been so focused on technology and innovation that he's lost sight of the human side of it all. What if innovation isn't just about creating new gadgets or machines? What if it's about creating something that can truly help people in the most tangible and meaningful ways? He watches Jack for a moment longer, the hum of the engine slowly blending into the background. "There's a lot to be learned from you, Jack," Elon says, his voice quieter now, a reflection of his thoughts. "I've spent my life creating things that are meant to change the world, but maybe the real change starts with people like you, people who see value in what's broken, who don't give up, who keep going no matter what." Jack doesn't respond immediately. Instead, he continues to work on the engine, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. It's clear that he's not seeking recognition, but in this quiet moment, Elon sees that Jack has something Elon himself has been searching for: a sense of purpose rooted in human connection and the desire to do good in the world. Elon's mind is racing. He's always believed that technology can solve the world's problems, but now, Jack is showing him that technology alone is not enough. It has to be paired with a deep humanity, with a desire to truly help people. Jack may not have a degree from the best school, but his practical wisdom, his resilience, and his heart have taught Elon something he hasn't considered in years. Innovation is most powerful when it is rooted in a desire to help others, not just to make life easier for a few. After a while, the old engine sputters back to life, its sound rising like a small victory. Jack wipes his hands on a rag, standing up with a heavy sigh of relief. The car is running again, but the sense of accomplishment doesn't quite leave his face. It's as though fixing this car, no matter how small, gives him the same satisfaction every time. Elon stands beside him, still absorbing the conversation they just had. Jack's resilience, his humility, and his practical approach to life have left a mark on Elon. "That was impressive," Elon says, nodding in genuine admiration. "You really know what you're doing." Jack chuckles, a low, knowing sound that fills the space between them. "Just a little old-school know-how," he replies, his voice warm but humble, still absorbed in the rhythm of the engine. But the grin that follows shows how much he enjoys the small victories. His pride in solving problems is not loud, but it's deeply felt. But then, as though something deep inside him compels him to speak, Elon says something that surprises them both. His words feel as though they were meant for this very moment, the shift in his thinking taking form. "How would you like a job at Tesla?" Elon says, his voice quiet, but there's no mistaking the sincerity in it. "Not fixing cars, but helping us create solutions for people who need them most." "You've got a way of thinking that's rare, Jack. The world needs more people who see value in what's broken, and you seem to know how to fix it." For a brief second, Jack freezes. His hand, still holding the rag, hovers in mid-air. He looks at Elon as though trying to process the words. He's a man who has spent his life fixing cars on the street, not in the world of sleek offices or high-tech innovation. He never imagined himself in a place like Tesla. The idea of working for a company that creates self-driving cars and revolutionizes energy seems like something far beyond his reach. "You want me to work at Tesla?" he says, the disbelief clear in his voice. "I'm just a guy fixing cars on the street." Elon smiles gently, his face sincere but his eyes are steady with purpose. "You've got more than that, Jack." Elon takes a step closer, his tone softening. "You've got a vision for how things should be, how people should be. That's what Tesla is all about. Innovation for the people, by the people." The weight of Elon's words hangs in the air. There's a shift in the conversation, as if the room itself knows this is a defining moment. Jack stands there, unsure and overwhelmed, but beneath it, there's a spark of possibility, a chance to do something more, a chance to be part of something larger than the work he's known. Jack looks down at his hands, still dirty from the engine grease, but now they feel like hands that have built more than just a car. These are hands that have fought through hardship, that have learned resilience and resourcefulness. He's lived a life of practical solutions, but now this offer feels like it's pushing him toward a world he's never even dreamed of. "I'm not sure I belong in a place like Tesla," Jack admits, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "I've never worked in a high-tech environment. I've never had access to the kind of resources you have." Elon considers Jack's words for a moment, a soft smile playing at the corners of his lips. He has faced his own share of doubts, his own struggles to prove his worth in a world that constantly asked for more. Elon knows that true innovation comes from the most unexpected places. "I didn't start Tesla by being the smartest guy in the room," Elon says, his voice filled with quiet confidence. "I started it because I believed in solving real-world problems. You've been solving problems your whole life, Jack. I think you belong exactly where you are meant to be, making a difference, no matter where that is." Jack's heart races as Elon's words sink in. It's overwhelming, yes, but there's something about it that feels right. He's spent his life learning how to solve problems with nothing but his own hands and sheer determination. Could this really be his chance to do something bigger, to make an impact in a way he's never imagined? The silence between them feels like a moment that stretches out. But Jack knows, deep down, that his life is about to take a turn. The possibility of something greater looms ahead, and with a final deep breath, he looks Elon in the eyes. "I'll do it," Jack says, his voice steady, though still tinged with uncertainty. "I'll give it a shot." Jack hesitates, his hands still gripping the rag he used to wipe his hands earlier. The offer Elon just gave him is overwhelming. It's like a door to a world he's never known. His whole life has been about solving practical problems, using his hands and his knowledge to make things work. He's been a mechanic in the truest sense. Hands-on, fixing what's broken, working with the world in front of him. Now, the world that Elon offers feels like an entirely different universe, one of technology, innovation, and corporate challenges. Jack's mind races with doubt. Can I really make this jump? He wonders. Would his skills even matter in such a high-tech environment? What could someone like him, someone who's never stepped foot in a fancy office or worked with million-dollar machines, offer to a company like Tesla? I'm not sure I belong in a place like Tesla, Jack admits aloud, his voice tinged with uncertainty. He glances at Elon, unsure if the man can understand the depth of the conflict swirling inside him. I've never worked in a high-tech environment. I've never had access to the kind of resources you have. For a moment, Elon remains silent, his gaze steady as he processes Jack's words. He knows this is a big leap for Jack, a man who has spent his life fixing what's tangible, hands-on, moving into the world of high technology, where everything is sleek and cutting-edge, is a world Jack could hardly imagine. But Elon sees something more than just the practical skills Jack brings to the table. He sees a mindset, a resilience, a grit that isn't measured by how many degrees you have or how many high-tech tools you've mastered. It's the kind of resilience that makes people solve real-world problems, not just theoretical ones. Elon leans back slightly, his fingers tapping the table thoughtfully as he reflects on his own journey. I didn't start Tesla by being the smartest guy in the room, he says, his voice soft but resolute. I started it because I believed in solving real-world problems, the ones that actually matter to people. And that's what you've been doing your whole life, Jack, fixing what's broken, making things work when others give up. Elon leans forward again, his eyes locking with Jack's. I think you belong exactly where you are meant to be, making a difference, no matter where that is. His words are simple, but there's a deep sincerity in them. Elon isn't just offering Jack a job, he's offering him a chance to be part of something bigger. A chance to bring his unique approach to problem-solving into a world that desperately needs people who see value in the things others dismiss. Jack sits quietly for a moment, the weight of Elon's words sinking in. For the first time, he feels like his hands-on experience isn't something to hide or feel ashamed of. It's not about fitting into a mold, not about having the best pedigree or being trained in a high-tech environment. It's about the practical wisdom he's gathered over the years, the ability to see value in what's broken and fix it. For a long time, Jack had viewed his skills as something minor, something the world didn't appreciate. But now, with Elon's encouragement, he starts to see them as something that could be pivotal in changing the world. The silence between them is heavy, yet full of possibilities. Jack takes a slow, deep breath. He doesn't know what's ahead, doesn't know if he will succeed, but he knows one thing. He has a chance to do something bigger than he ever imagined. I'll do it, Jack finally says, his voice steadier now, the uncertainty in his tone replaced with quiet resolve. It's not just about taking a job at Tesla, it's about embracing a new path, one where his hands, his experience, and his way of thinking will have a chance to shape the future. Elon smiles, a knowing look crossing his face, and for the first time, there's a shared understanding between them. Jack has taken the leap, not just into a new job, but into a new chapter of his life. I'm glad to hear that, Elon says with a smile, because this is just the beginning. Jack eventually agrees, albeit reluctantly, and begins his new role at Tesla. The transition isn't easy. In the beginning, he struggles to adapt to the fast-paced, high-tech environment that Tesla represents. The constant flow of ideas, the rapid-fire meetings, and the complex systems they work with all feel alien to him. For someone who's spent most of his life fixing things with his hands, The world of cutting-edge technology feels overwhelming at times. But Jack is not one to shy away from challenges. Determined to learn, he watches the engineers, takes notes, and slowly begins to understand how his hands-on approach can blend with Tesla's vision of innovation. There are moments of frustration, moments when he feels completely out of his depth, but each setback is followed by a small breakthrough. His experience, the kind that can't be learned from a textbook, becomes a unique asset to the team. As Jack spends more time at Tesla, his practical knowledge becomes an invaluable resource. He begins to understand not just how to make electric vehicles more efficient, but how to make them easier to maintain, especially in places where mechanics are few and resources are scarce. Jack's mind shifts from focusing on advanced technology to thinking about accessibility, how to bring Tesla's innovations to people who don't have the luxury of advanced facilities or the latest tools. For the first time, he feels that the skills he's honed throughout his life, those skills that once felt insignificant, are now changing the world in their own right. One of the first projects Jack tackles is designing a modular repair kit for Tesla vehicles. The idea comes to him one evening, while he's sitting in his small office, staring at a blueprint for Tesla's new model. He realizes that many of the parts are too specialized for small mechanics to handle, especially in rural areas where access to parts and tools is limited. He suggests a solution that simplifies the repair process, making it easier for people in under-resourced areas to maintain their cars without needing advanced training or expensive equipment. Jack's innovation is a game-changer for Tesla. It's not about making the technology smarter, it's about making it usable for everyone. People who once couldn't afford to maintain their cars now have a chance to access the future of transportation without the barrier of expensive repairs or high-tech knowledge. His work allows Tesla to reach new communities, global markets that had previously been underserved. Jack doesn't just change Tesla's approach to technology, he changes lives. The ripple effect of his work extends beyond the company. As his designs are implemented, countless people now have access to Tesla's cutting-edge innovations in a way that feels more personal and practical. His contributions empower communities, and for the first time, Jack sees how his hands-on knowledge has turned from a mere skill into a force for change. He's no longer just a man fixing cars on the street. He's someone who's shaping the future, making technology accessible and useful to all, not just those who can afford it, but everyone. Jack's story isn't just about joining Tesla, it's about turning his life's work into something that benefits people across the globe, helping to bring about a future where technology is a tool for empowerment. And with each new breakthrough, Jack's sense of belonging at Tesla grows. He realizes that his journey has come full circle. What started with fixing old cars in a quiet neighborhood has now evolved into a journey of transformation, both for him and for the world. As Jack settles into his new role at Tesla, he quickly realizes that the world he's entered is vastly different from the one he's known. The corporate environment is fast-paced and often overwhelming, filled with complex systems and high-tech jargon. Yet the skills he's honed over years of working with his hands, practical, real-world solutions, are more valuable than ever. But in this new world, he feels the weight of a responsibility that goes beyond fixing a car. It's about solving problems that affect entire communities. One day, Jack receives a request that both excites and terrifies him. A rural community is in desperate need of help. Their electric vehicles, the ones Tesla had provided them, have broken down, and they can't afford the high-end repairs needed to get them running again. The community is far from any Tesla service center, and the resources available to them are limited. They've heard of Tesla's capabilities and know the company has the technology, but their financial constraints put them in a tough spot. This is Jack's first real test, the kind of challenge that demands both innovation and empathy. Jack feels the weight of the situation. This isn't just about technology or solving a mechanical problem. This is about people. these vehicles represent much more than just transportation. For the community, they're a lifeline, a way to access jobs, healthcare, and services that would otherwise be out of reach. Jack knows that solving this problem means more than just making a repair. It means giving these people a chance to move forward. His mind races with possibilities. How can he fix these cars without access to high-end resources? How can he deliver the quality Tesla is known for while still being affordable for this community? The answers don't come easily. His hands-on experience has always been about finding creative solutions, but here, in this corporate environment, the stakes are much higher. There's a real risk that if he doesn't succeed, the community will be left stranded, and he will have failed Tesla's mission to bring innovation to the people who need it most. Jack takes a step back, allowing himself a moment of pause. The pressure is unlike anything he's felt before, but he knows that this challenge is exactly what he's been waiting for. He's always been someone who takes what he's learned from the ground up, but now he must combine that with the high-level innovation that Tesla represents. It's the perfect test of his ability to think outside the box, to find simple yet effective solutions that can scale in a high-tech world. His mind begins to work through the details. The idea that forms in his mind is not about reinventing the wheel, but about adapting existing technology to fit the needs of real people. He starts to think of modular repair kits, ones that can be used with minimal tools and minimal resources, yet still maintain the integrity of Tesla's vehicles. This innovation doesn't require the highest tech available. It requires resourcefulness, creativity, and a deep understanding of the people he's serving. Jack begins sketching out the design, each idea building on the other, until he can see the solution clearly in his mind. This is it. A way to make high-end technology accessible to people who may never have the tools or expertise to maintain it themselves. It's not just about fixing the vehicles. It's about making sure that the benefits of Tesla's innovations reach everyone, not just those who can afford the luxury of full-service repairs. Jack's practical approach to vehicle maintenance leads him down a path that, at first, feels like a small step forward. The task at hand, creating a simple repair solution, is not extraordinary in itself, but Jack can't help but feel a growing sense of purpose as he begins to think more deeply about the problem. His mind starts to race with possibilities. What started as a practical task begins to evolve into something more, a vision that could change everything. The community in need of repairs has very limited resources, and Jack knows that fixing cars isn't just about getting them running again. It's about making sure the solution is sustainable and accessible for people who don't have the luxury of high-end repair services. The traditional approach to maintenance relies on expensive tools, specialized training, and access to resources that many communities don't have. In places where mechanics are scarce and access to professional services is limited, Jack knows that Tesla's high-tech vehicles cannot be an exception. Jack spends countless hours researching Tesla's repair manuals, but the solutions he finds are often too complicated or require resources that simply aren't available in the areas where people need them the most. He feels frustration creeping in, but he's also driven by a deeper sense of purpose. This isn't just about fixing a car, it's about fixing a broken system, one where only a few people can benefit from Tesla's innovation, while many others remain excluded because they can't afford the services. The more Jack thinks, the more it becomes clear he needs to design a solution that addresses the root of the problem, a solution that simplifies the repair process without compromising Tesla's quality or safety. He dreams of a modular repair kit, a system that's easy to use, affordable, and requires minimal tools, allowing even non-experts to fix their vehicles in a straightforward way. The kit would be modular, meaning it could be customized based on the needs of different types of vehicles and issues. The parts would be simple but durable, and each step in the repair process would be clear and easy to follow, even for those without advanced technical knowledge. But there's a major hurdle: getting buy-in from the team at Tesla. The company has always prided itself on creating high-tech, sophisticated solutions, and Jack's idea feels like a step back into the realm of simpler, more old-school approaches. Would Tesla be willing to risk its image as a leader in cutting-edge technology for something so practical and basic? Despite the doubt, Jack presses on. He works late into the night, revisiting every possible design, speaking with engineers, and experimenting with different combinations of parts. It's a slow, grueling process, but his hands-on experience gives him a unique perspective, and he's determined to make this work. Jack doesn't just want to solve the problem of maintenance. He wants to reimagine how maintenance can be accessible to all. He knows this is a long shot, but he also believes this is exactly what Tesla needs. As the weeks go by, Jack's vision begins to take shape. The modular repair kit doesn't just meet the basic need for simplicity, it also turns out to be more efficient, more sustainable, and more affordable than anything the team had initially imagined. Tesla engineers are impressed by how Jack's approach makes technology more accessible to people who previously couldn't afford it, and his solution begins to gain traction within the company. The more they test it, the clearer it becomes that this is the future of maintenance, not just for Tesla, but for the entire electric vehicle industry. When the kit is tested in the field, the results are better than anyone expected. Not only does it make repairs possible in places where mechanics are few and resources are scarce, but it also demonstrates the core value of Tesla: technology that empowers people, that serves the greater good, and doesn't leave people behind just because they can't afford the latest technology. The response is overwhelming. Communities that have never had access to professional repair services now feel that they too can benefit from Tesla's cutting-edge innovations. Jack's work quickly gains attention across Tesla. His innovation doesn't just impact maintenance, it reshapes the way Tesla thinks about serving its customers. No longer is the company just about creating high-tech solutions for those who can afford them. Tesla is now in a position to offer solutions for everyone, regardless of their financial means. Jack becomes a hero to many people who once felt left out of the conversation, proving that even the most groundbreaking innovations can be simple, practical, and accessible to all. As Jack's work continues to gain traction within Tesla, it becomes increasingly clear that his innovation is not just a simple technical fix. It's a reminder of what Tesla was always meant to be. Jack's approach, practical and grounded in real-world applications, has led Tesla back to its roots, to the very core of its mission. In the early days, Tesla set out to do more than just build cars. It set out to change the world by creating technology that could solve real-world problems that affect people. Jack's work, though simple, brings this mission to the forefront again. Elon watches with a growing sense of gratitude and admiration as Jack's success begins to unfold. Over the years, Elon has been driven by the desire to revolutionize industries, to create the future. He's been surrounded by engineers and visionaries who have created cutting-edge technology, and he's always been focused on how to push the limits of what's possible. But now, as he witnesses Jack's quiet yet profound impact, Elon begins to pause and reflect. This, the work that Jack is doing, is truly what Tesla is about. It's not just about the next great innovation or the most advanced technology. It's about how technology can improve people's lives, especially those who have been marginalized or ignored by traditional markets. Elon's reflections deepen as he watches Jack, still working with grease-stained hands, never seeking recognition. Jack, who has worked in the shadows for most of his life, now finds himself at the center of a shift in Tesla's approach. His work is reminding everyone at Tesla of what truly matters, making a difference in the lives of the people they serve. This is not just about products or profits. It's about serving humanity. Elon suddenly sees the world through a different lens, and he realizes that the technology they've been creating has the power to reshape society, but it should also be used to empower those who need it the most. "You've made an impact, Jack," Elon says one afternoon, as the two stand by a group of engineers reviewing the latest repair kits. "Not just in our company, but in the world. Your work is bringing us back to what Tesla was always meant to do: make a real difference." Jack, as humble as ever, shifts his gaze down, his hands still covered in grease. He's not used to praise or attention. He spent his life quietly solving problems without ever seeking recognition. But hearing Elon's words, Jack begins to understand the true significance of what he has contributed to Tesla. It's not just about fixing cars anymore. It's about fixing lives. It's about providing solutions for those who have always been on the outside looking in, those who never had access to the latest technology, but now have a chance because of the work they've done together. For the first time, Jack feels like his work is making a real difference. Not just in the company, but in the lives of people who need it most. "I didn't come here to change the world," Jack thinks, looking out the window at the Tesla campus. "But I did come here to help people." And in doing that, he realizes he has helped shape the future of Tesla, creating a world where innovation is driven by compassion, not just by market demands. Elon's thoughts grow even more introspective. For years, he's been focused on building something revolutionary, but now, looking at the work Jack has done, he realizes that Tesla's legacy is about more than just technology. It's about the people who will benefit from that technology and how it can improve their daily lives in a tangible way. The heart of Tesla lies not just in the cars it builds, but in how it empowers people and helps them solve problems that are deeply human and real. "I see now," Elon says to Lucas later that evening as they sit together in Elon's office, reflecting on the progress Jack has made. "Tesla's true legacy isn't in the groundbreaking technology we've created. It's in how we've used it to change people's lives." And Jack, more than anyone else, has reminded us of that. He's shown us what it means to make an impact, not just through innovation, but through humanity. Lucas nods, his expression thoughtful, as he watches Elon's realization settle in. He knows this moment is significant. It's not just a moment of reflection, but one of action. Tesla's next steps will be shaped by this new understanding. From this point on, the company will focus not just on cutting-edge technology, but on how to use that technology to serve people. They'll put humanity at the center of every decision they make moving forward. As Jack's innovations continue to spread across the globe, the world begins to see a new side of Tesla, a company that doesn't just create innovative technology, but is also committed to improving lives, one person at a time. Jack's work becomes a symbol of compassion and inclusion in a world often driven by profit. And for Jack, knowing that his simple solutions have helped make the world a better place is the greatest reward. Thanks to Jack's innovation, Tesla has taken a significant leap forward, not just in the technology it creates, but in how it approaches its customers. His modular repair kit, designed for those with limited resources, becomes a game changer. What started as a small idea to make maintenance more accessible has grown into a global movement, one that reshapes how Tesla views its role in the world. Jack's efforts to make vehicle repairs affordable and easy for communities in remote areas reverberate far beyond Tesla's headquarters. It's not just about making things more accessible, it's about breaking down barriers that have kept people from fully participating in the technological advancements that Tesla has made. For the first time, those who were once left out of the conversation now have a real connection to the future of transportation. The ripple effect of Jack's work goes beyond simple product improvement. It changes how people view Tesla, not just as a company that creates luxury cars, but as a company that cares about the real needs of its customers. The image of Tesla, once defined by its cutting-edge technology, is now also associated with humanity and accessibility. Communities that once felt ignored or left behind in the conversation now have a voice that says, "We matter too." For Elon, watching the changes unfold is a humbling experience. As Tesla's reputation grows, it becomes clear that the company's true strength lies not just in its technological innovation, but in its ability to impact lives in meaningful ways. He reflects on how far Tesla has come, how it's no longer just about the cars or the batteries, but about changing the way people interact with technology, giving them power, giving them control, and ultimately giving them access to a better life. In a meeting with his team, Elon speaks about the broader implications of Jack's work. "This isn't just about building the future," he says. "It's about making sure that future is for everyone." Jack's vision wasn't just about fixing cars. It was about making sure that the benefits of what we create are accessible to all. The team nods, visibly moved by how Tesla's mission has grown to include more than just cutting-edge solutions for the privileged. It's become about serving the many, not the few. As news of the success spreads, the ripple effect continues to grow. Tesla's new approach inspires other companies, competitors, and industries to rethink how they interact with their customers. What was once considered a small, localized solution has now become a model for how innovation can drive positive change, especially for those who are most often overlooked. Tesla's reputation as a company that is not just focused on profits but also on genuine human impact begins to spread globally. Jack, meanwhile, doesn't see himself as a hero. He never set out to change the world. But as he watches communities begin to benefit from his work, he realizes just how big of an impact his efforts have had. People who had struggled with maintaining their vehicles, who had no access to high-end repairs, now have a chance at a better, more reliable life. Jack may have started out fixing cars on the street, but now, his work has touched lives on a global scale. "I never thought fixing cars would lead to this," Jack reflects one evening, watching the news stories about Tesla's new initiative and how it's changing lives. He smiles, a quiet satisfaction filling him. He didn't expect fame or recognition, but the knowledge that his small idea has led to something much larger, something that has empowered people, fills him with a deep sense of fulfillment. As the months pass, Jack finds himself in a completely new chapter of life, one that he never imagined. He had always believed that his path was set, that he would spend his life fixing cars, working hard just to make ends meet. The world of Tesla, with its vast offices and high-tech innovations, seemed so far removed from the life he once knew. Yet, as time has passed, Jack has become more than just an employee. He's become a crucial part of Tesla's vision, playing a key role in shaping the company's direction and its ability to serve people beyond the affluent markets Tesla once catered to. It wasn't easy at first. Jack faced a steep learning curve. The high-tech world of electric vehicles and cutting-edge technology was overwhelming for someone who had spent his life working with his hands, fixing real-world problems with limited tools and resources. But he never shied away from the challenge. He began to realize that his practical experience was just as valuable as the technical expertise in the office. He had spent his life learning how to make things work when the odds were against him, and now he was taking that very mindset and applying it to the biggest challenge of all, creating accessible solutions for people who were previously left out. Jack's sense of fulfillment grew not just from the work he was doing, but from seeing the direct impact it had on people's lives. He hadn't expected to become a pioneer in the tech world, but every success, every project that was implemented, brought him a deeper sense of pride, not in the technology itself, but in what it could do for the communities who needed it most. The modular repair kit, which started as a simple idea to help a rural community, has now become a global initiative, improving the way Tesla interacts with its customers, especially those in remote areas who had no access to professional repairs. But for Jack, the true measure of his transformation wasn't in the accolades or the recognition. It was in knowing that he had made a real difference. He hadn't started this journey for fame or fortune, and he wasn't doing it for personal gain. He had simply wanted to help people, to make life a little easier for those struggling, and now he could see the ripple effect of his work spreading far and wide. "I never thought fixing cars would lead to this," Jack often reflects as he looks out across the Tesla campus. He never imagined his small idea would grow into something so impactful, changing lives on a scale he hadn't even dreamed possible. From fixing cars on the street to helping design the future of Tesla, Jack's life has undergone a transformation that he never saw coming. As Jack walks through the Tesla campus now, he notices the subtle shift in how people see him. He's no longer just the man who fixed cars on the side of the street. He's now someone whose vision and creativity have had a tangible impact on the world. People from different backgrounds and different walks of life are now benefiting from the very ideas he once thought would never be possible. The ripple effect of his work has reached countless communities, giving them access to Tesla's innovations, something they never thought they'd be able to afford or even access. Jack stands tall in this moment, not out of pride or ego, but out of a quiet satisfaction. He knows that his journey, one that began in the streets, working on old cars, has evolved into something that he never could have imagined. He doesn't need the spotlight, nor does he want fame. His sense of purpose comes from knowing that his work has made the world better, that his hands-on approach has created something lasting. The cars he fixes, the systems he designs aren't just about machinery. They're about the people they affect, the lives they change, and the future they help shape. For Jack, his transformation isn't just about moving up in the world or becoming someone with a title. It's about living a life of purpose, where his skills, once seen as simple or insignificant, have become instrumental in shaping a more accessible and compassionate future. He now sees that the true power of his work lies not in the machines or the technology, but in how it impacts those who need it most. Looking back, Jack feels a sense of peace knowing that what he's done is part of something much larger than himself. This isn't just a job to him. It's a mission, a chance to create real change that will outlast his lifetime. As he stands alongside the Tesla team, he can feel the weight of the legacy he's helping to build. A future that puts people first and doesn't leave anyone behind. Years have passed since Jack's innovation first started making waves at Tesla, but his influence has only grown stronger over time. When people talk about Tesla's commitment to making the world a better place, they mention Jack. His name is no longer just tied to the cars he fixed. He has become synonymous with the values Tesla has come to represent. Innovation for the people, technology that serves humanity, and the power of humility and resilience. Jack never sought fame or fortune. He wasn't looking for recognition or accolades. His motivations have always been simple: to make life better for others. From the moment he started fixing cars on the street, his focus was always on solving problems for those who needed it most. He never imagined that the same principles would lead him to transform an entire company, or that his work would have such a lasting impact on the world. As the years have passed, the legacy of Jack's contributions has become more apparent. Tesla's mission has expanded beyond simply creating advanced vehicles. It's become a beacon for how businesses can impact society positively. Through Jack's insight, Tesla has learned to view its technology through a new lens, not as something exclusive for the privileged, but as something that can change lives for people everywhere, no matter their background, location, or resources. Jack never expected this. He thought his life would always be about working with his hands, solving everyday problems for people in need. But his time at Tesla has shown him that even the most ordinary beginnings can lead to extraordinary outcomes. His work didn't just improve Tesla's technology, it reshaped the way people think about innovation. In a world that often celebrates the loudest voices, Jack's story is a reminder that true greatness often comes from those who work quietly, with purpose, and without expecting anything in return. At a public event years later, Tesla celebrates the company's achievements. The highlight of the ceremony is a tribute to Jack. Elon Musk, standing on stage, reflects on the impact Jack has had on the company and the world at large. He speaks about the power of simple, humble solutions that have profound effects. Jack's vision wasn't just about creating something that worked. It was about creating something that mattered, something that could make a difference in people's lives. His legacy is a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary innovations come from the simplest beginnings. Jack is in the crowd, watching, still humbled by the attention but feeling a deep sense of peace. For him, it's not about the spotlight. It's about the people he's helped, the communities he's touched, and the real-world problems he's solved. His legacy isn't defined by awards or titles. It's defined by the impact he's made on the lives of others. As he stands there, reflecting on his journey, from fixing cars on the street to shaping the future of Tesla, he smiles to himself, not with pride, but with contentment. Jack knows that his story is one of humility, resilience, and hope. He's never had the ambition for fame, but his contributions have made a lasting impact on the company and on the world's approach to innovation. In the end, Jack's story isn't just about a man who fixed cars, it's about a man who saw value in the broken, who restored hope in ways that went beyond the mechanical. His journey is proof that sometimes the greatest innovations don't come from the brightest minds or the most prestigious institutions, but from those who work tirelessly behind the scenes, guided by a belief that making the world a better place doesn't require extraordinary resources, just a willingness to help and the courage to make a difference. With Tesla's success growing at an unprecedented pace, Elon Musk finds himself facing a new set of challenges. The world is changing rapidly, and while Tesla has become a symbol of technological innovation, Elon knows that this success has brought with it even more responsibility. The climate crisis and economic inequality are now at the forefront of global discussions, and Elon can no longer avoid the reality that Tesla's mission has to expand beyond just electric cars and sustainable energy. The world is in crisis, with resources dwindling and the gap between the rich and poor growing ever wider. For years, Tesla has led the charge in transforming the transportation industry, but the real work lies ahead. How can a company that's so focused on innovation also become a force for social good? How can technology be leveraged not just to profit, but to solve the world's greatest issues? Elon spends late nights contemplating these questions. He sits in his office, staring out over the Tesla campus. There's a sense of urgency in the air, the weight of the climate crisis looming larger than ever. But it's not just the environment that's at stake. Social equity is a massive concern. Tesla's innovations may be changing the world, but what about those who can't afford the technology? What about the communities that have been left behind in the race for progress? We've built a revolution, but is it enough? Elon wonders aloud to himself. We've changed the way people think about energy and transportation, but can we do more? Can we make a difference for everyone, not just the privileged few? Elon knows that Tesla can't afford to become just another company, a high-tech juggernaut that ignores the realities of the world's most pressing issues. The climate crisis demands radical change, but so does economic inequality. Tesla must find a way to balance technological innovation with social responsibility, to continue advancing the future of energy while ensuring that everyone can access it. As Elon contemplates the future, he feels lost in the enormity of it all. Tesla has always been driven by the desire to innovate, but innovation without purpose, without addressing the world's greatest needs, feels empty. He looks around his office at the walls filled with accomplishments, patents, and awards. But does any of it matter if it's not solving the bigger picture? In that moment of reflection, Elon realizes that he cannot navigate this challenge alone. He looks to Jack, the man who has become not just a colleague, but a moral compass in the midst of Tesla's success. Jack's hands-on wisdom, his ability to think practically, and his deep connection to real-world problems have become an essential part of Tesla's core values. Jack's insights are more valuable than ever, Elon thinks, as he picks up the phone. He needs someone who sees things not just from the perspective of technology, but from the perspective of humanity. Someone who understands the social responsibility that comes with such power and influence. Elon sends a quick message to Jack. Let's talk. We need to rethink what Tesla is doing and where we're headed. It's time to take the next step. As Elon and Jack sit together in Tesla's quiet strategy room, the weight of their conversation settles around them. They've been discussing the future of Tesla for hours now, but it feels like they're at a crossroads, not just for the company, but for the world. Tesla's success has opened doors, but with those doors comes a greater responsibility. A responsibility to ensure that technology serves everyone, not just the fortunate few who can afford it. Elon leans back in his chair, his fingers lightly tapping the table as he contemplates the words Jack has spoken. We've created the future, but what good is it if only a select few can access it? Elon reflects aloud, his voice tinged with both frustration and clarity. We've built electric vehicles that are changing the way people think about transportation, but that's not enough. The future should belong to everyone. Jack, sitting across from Elon, watches him carefully. He's been in this world long enough to understand that change doesn't happen overnight. Yet, there's something in Elon's words that resonates deeply with him. It's not just about technology, Jack says, his voice firm but filled with quiet certainty. It's about the people it serves. Jack leans forward, his hands folded on the table. We've seen it time and again, Elon. People who have no access to the latest innovations. People who need technology the most but have been left out. If Tesla can make a difference, it should be in the lives of those who need it, not just in the boardrooms or affluent neighborhoods. Elon nods slowly, absorbing Jack's words. The more he thinks about it, the more he realizes that Jack's insight is exactly what Tesla needs. Tesla can no longer just be a company that pioneers high-tech solutions for a select group. It must be a company that addresses the needs of all people, especially those who are the most vulnerable to the challenges of the modern world. Climate change isn't just a buzzword for the privileged. It affects everyone, especially those in underprivileged areas where resources are already scarce. We need to rethink what it means to be a leader in innovation, Elon says, his voice growing more passionate. It's not just about building the best car or the smartest AI. It's about creating technology that puts people first, that ensures everyone, no matter where they live or how much they make, has access to the tools that will make their lives better. Jack's face lights up with understanding. This is what Tesla has always been about. But now, it's more than just technology. It's a vision for the future. A future where access to innovation isn't a privilege, but a right. Jack has always believed that technology should solve real problems, not just the ones that are easy to solve. He believes that technology should empower the people who need it most. And now, he sees that Tesla has the power to do that on a global scale. Elon smiles, a deep sense of relief settling in. He knows this is the beginning of something new for Tesla, something more human-centered. We're not just solving the climate crisis, Jack, he says thoughtfully. We're ensuring that no one is left behind. We're creating solutions that are as much about people as they are about technology. We're building a future that is accessible to all. Together, they spend hours mapping out the blueprint for Tesla's future, a future where sustainability and accessibility go hand in hand. They commit to making technology that isn't just cutting edge, but that is also designed to serve everyone. We need to make sure that technology benefits all, Elon says with quiet confidence. It's not enough to be the best at what we do. We need to ensure we're doing it for the right reasons. As Elon and Jack prepare to launch a new initiative, the air around them feels charged with anticipation. They've spent countless hours discussing their vision for Tesla, but now they stand on the precipice of something larger than themselves, something that could change the trajectory of Tesla's future and, more importantly, how technology impacts the world at large. For Elon, this moment is not just about leading Tesla to new heights. It's about understanding that the true measure of success has shifted. Over the years, he's grown accustomed to thinking of success in terms of innovation, profit, and technological leadership. But with the launch of this new initiative, he realizes that true innovation lies not just in creating products, but in creating a world where those products benefit everyone, where technology becomes a tool that empowers communities, not just for the privileged few, but for all people. As they sit in a quiet meeting room, surrounded by Tesla engineers and strategic planners, Elon finds himself reflecting on the long path that has brought them here. "I've spent so much time thinking about creating the future," he says quietly, his voice thoughtful. "But I'm starting to understand that creating the future isn't just about building the next big thing. It's about making sure that the future we create is one that's equitable, just, and accessible to everyone." Jack listens carefully, his eyes fixed on Elon, his expression quiet but intense. Jack has always believed that technology must be a servant to people, not the other way around. Over the past months, as he has worked alongside Elon, he's seen Tesla's vision evolve, and he feels a deep sense of satisfaction that their shared goal is beginning to take shape. "You're right," Jack replies, his voice steady but with a newfound confidence. "What we're doing is more than just about pushing the boundaries of technology. It's about ensuring that the people we're helping, those who have been left behind by the systems in place, are part of the progress. The true power of technology is in its ability to serve humanity, not to elevate the few, but to elevate everyone." Elon nods, feeling the weight of Jack's words. They've come so far together, from solving small problems to now crafting solutions for the world's greatest challenges. But even with all the success and accomplishments, there's still so much more to do. "I spent years trying to build something that could change the world," Elon continues, his gaze intense as he locks eyes with Jack. "But what we're doing now, it's not just about creating something new. It's about ensuring that the world we create is one where everyone has access to the innovations we're building. We've built something powerful here, Jack, but now we need to make sure it reaches everyone, not just the ones who can afford it." For a moment, the room falls into a quiet reflection. Everyone in the room is fully aware that what they are working on is bigger than any product Tesla has made before. It's about shaping the world's future, where technology doesn't just disrupt industries, but changes lives for the better. Jack stands up, his heart racing with the weight of it all. He never imagined that he would be part of something like this, shaping the future of technology alongside Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant minds of the modern age. He remembers his early days, back when he was fixing cars on the street, barely scraping by. Now he's helping build a future that puts people first. It's not just about fixing broken cars anymore. It's about fixing a broken world. "This isn't just about technology," Jack says, his voice filled with determination. "It's about creating a system where no one is left out, where everyone has the chance to thrive. We're not just building products, we're building a future that's more inclusive, more just, and more human." Elon smiles at Jack, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. He knows that without Jack's perspective, they would have continued down a path where technology was simply another means of progress. But with Jack's guidance, Tesla has found a deeper purpose, one that aligns with the company's founding ideals of innovation for the people, but now with a greater commitment to social responsibility. They both know that this next step is pivotal. The world is at a crossroads, and they are in a position to help guide it. The change they're making is not just in the technology they create, but in how they use that technology to serve people's needs. With a shared sense of determination, they both know the road ahead won't be easy, but they're ready. They are taking one final step, one that will set the tone for the next chapter in Tesla's history. They are no longer just creating products. They are creating a legacy that will be defined by compassion, equality, and the desire to make the world a better place for all. With Jack's guidance, Elon begins to see Tesla's future in a new light. The vision that once seemed centered solely on cutting-edge technology and breaking records now becomes something more profound. Tesla's true success is no longer defined solely by the products they create, but by the impact those products have on the world. The world they live in is at a crossroads where technology must serve humanity, where global issues like climate change and economic disparity demand a response not only from world leaders, but from companies that drive innovation. As Elon and Jack sit together, discussing Tesla's next steps, they realize that the solutions they create cannot just be about the next big product, but about how those products can elevate everyone, from the communities who need it most to those who have access to the best resources. Elon begins to feel a sense of clarity and purpose that he hasn't felt before. There's no question in his mind that Tesla's future lies in the hands of those who are willing to think beyond technology, who are willing to make the human experience the primary focus. "It's easy to get caught up in the technology, Jack," Elon says, his voice quieter than usual, filled with a newfound reflection. "For years, I thought the key to success was making the best product, the most revolutionary product. But what's the point if it doesn't serve everyone? What's the point if it leaves people behind?" Jack listens intently, his gaze steady and unwavering. He knows that Elon's shift in thinking is more than just a change of heart. It's the realization that Tesla's mission has always been about more than just innovation. It's about creating solutions that address real-world problems and doing it in a way that's accessible to all. Jack's whole life has been about solving practical problems, and now he sees that their vision for Tesla can help change not just industries, but society. "You've always been about innovation," Jack says thoughtfully, his voice calm but carrying the weight of years of experience. "But the real change comes when innovation is used to solve problems for the people who need it the most. Technology has to be accessible to everyone, not just those who can afford it. If we build with that in mind, we can change the world." For a moment, Elon is silent. The words Jack spoke resonate deeply with him, a reminder that the greatest innovations don't always come from the most advanced technologies. Sometimes, the most impactful innovations come from the simplest solutions, solutions that serve humanity at every level. "You're right," Elon says, finally breaking the silence. "It's not just about the product anymore. It's about ensuring that Tesla's innovations are available to everyone, from the wealthy to those in rural communities, from developed nations to underserved areas. The future of Tesla is about ensuring that our progress doesn't leave people behind." Jack nods, a small smile forming on his lips. The clarity in Elon's words reassures him. They are finally in alignment, both understanding that the next step for Tesla is one rooted in humanity. A vision that focuses not only on global problems like climate change, but also on making sure that those solutions reach everyone who needs them. As they continue to brainstorm, the ideas flow freely. They decide to shift Tesla's focus from just being a leader in electric vehicles to becoming a leader in accessibility and global impact. Tesla's technologies will be aimed at solving not only the environmental crisis, but also empowering people in every corner of the world. Innovation for the people, by the people, becomes their new mantra. Elon reflects again on the journey Tesla has taken. From humble beginnings, Tesla has become a symbol of innovation and sustainability. But now, with Jack by his side, he understands that the true legacy of Tesla will be its ability to empower people to shape their own futures. Tesla's legacy won't be just in the cars it produces or the clean energy it provides, but in the access it creates for people around the world to build better lives for themselves. "This is where we need to go," Elon says, standing up, the weight of the decision settling in his heart. "We've done a lot, Jack. But the true change lies ahead. The real innovation is in the people we empower, the lives we touch, and the future we build for all people." Jack's heart swells with emotion. For the first time, he feels that everything he's done has led him to this moment. The realization that his work, his effort, has become part of something far larger than himself. It's not about being first, Jack thinks, watching Elon. It's about making sure we're doing it for the right reasons, for everyone. Elon and Jack stand side by side, watching the sun slowly dip below the horizon over the sprawling Tesla headquarters. The campus, now an emblem of Tesla's success, feels like more than just a company. It feels like a symbol of the future they've helped shape. The world is changing and they've played their part in it, but there's a deeper sense of fulfillment in the air as they stand there together. For years, Elon's life has been driven by the desire to revolutionize industries, to break barriers, to push the envelope, to change the way the world works through technology. But as the sun sets on this moment, he realizes that the true heart of Tesla isn't just in the technology, but in the people it serves. The work they've done isn't just about creating cars or developing AI. It's about building a future where technology benefits everyone, where no one is left behind, especially those who have struggled to find their place in the rapidly changing world. Jack, standing beside him, has been the bridge between the high-tech world Elon has always inhabited and the real-world experiences that Jack has brought into the company. Jack's story, from a mechanic fixing cars on the street to a central figure in one of the world's most influential companies, embodies the spirit of Tesla. It's a story about resilience, about humility, and about the belief that sometimes the smallest, simplest acts can lead to the biggest, most meaningful changes. "We've built something amazing, Jack," Elon says, breaking the silence. His voice is soft but filled with conviction. But it's more than just a company now. It's a movement. It's about shaping the future with heart, not just with technology. Jack, looking at Elon, feels the weight of those words. It's been a long journey for him, one he never could have predicted. When he first met Elon, he was just a man fixing cars, unsure of what would come next in his life. But now, standing beside one of the most visionary people in the world, he sees that the impact they've made goes beyond just fixing cars or creating the best electric vehicle. They've created something that will reshape lives, empower communities, and offer hope to people who have long been overlooked by traditional systems. "I never thought fixing cars would lead to this," Jack says with a quiet smile, his voice reflective but also full of gratitude. His hands are no longer covered in grease, but the hard work and experience he gained in those years still define him. He looks at the Tesla campus, the company they've built together, and feels a deep sense of peace. "I never imagined my life would turn out this way, that fixing cars would lead to fixing lives." Elon smiles back at him, his heart swelling with a quiet pride. There's a deep sense of respect in his eyes as he looks at Jack. Elon knows that without Jack, Tesla's evolution wouldn't have been the same. Jack's wisdom, his ability to bring simplicity to complex problems, and his deep sense of humanity have shaped Tesla into something greater than just a tech company. It's now a company driven by a purpose, where the human experience is just as important as the technology behind it. "I think that's what we've done," Elon says thoughtfully. We didn't just create cars or technology. We created a future. A future where technology is there to help people, not to make them feel left behind. As the evening deepens, the soft glow of the setting sun casts a warm light over the two men, standing in quiet reflection. The world is still evolving, and Tesla's role in that evolution is more important than ever. But for Elon and Jack, the true measure of success isn't in how many cars they sell or how many markets they dominate. It's in how much their work has helped others, how many lives they've touched with their vision for a better world. Jack has never been one to seek recognition, but there is a sense of quiet pride that settles over him. The life he's lived, the struggles he's overcome, have all led to this moment. His contributions to Tesla have changed the way people think about technology, making it more accessible, more human-centered, and most importantly, more inclusive. "We've come a long way," Jack says softly, his voice filled with satisfaction. "But the road ahead is even longer. The work we've started is just the beginning." Elon nods, understanding exactly what Jack means. "It is the beginning," he says, his voice steady and resolute. "But it's a beginning that we can be proud of. We've created a world where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. And that's the legacy we're leaving." They stand side by side, watching the sun dip below the horizon, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and hope for the future. The road ahead is still long and uncertain, but one thing is clear: the foundation they've laid together will continue to guide Tesla's mission, ensuring that every innovation, every decision is made with the purpose of empowering the people who need it most. And so, the story ends with the realization that the greatest innovations don't come from the smartest minds, but from those who care deeply about making the world a better place. Jack's journey, from a man working on cars in a quiet neighborhood to becoming a pivotal figure at Tesla, is not just a story of success or achievement. It's a story about purpose. It's a story that shows that innovation isn't just about creating new technologies. It's about how those technologies are used to serve humanity. For years, Elon Musk had been driven by his desire to revolutionize industries, to push the boundaries of what's possible in technology. But now, standing at the culmination of his journey with Jack by his side, he feels that Tesla's true success has nothing to do with the technology itself, and everything to do with the people it touches. Tesla has become more than just a company. It is a movement, one that redefines what innovation means and how it should be applied to the greater good. When people talk about Tesla's commitment to making the world a better place, they mention Jack. His name has become synonymous with humility, resilience, and the belief that the most extraordinary innovations come from the simplest beginnings. He never sought fame or fortune, and yet his work, his contributions, have left an indelible mark on Tesla and the world. In the quiet moments when Elon reflects on the journey they've both taken, he sees it clearly. Tesla's greatest legacy isn't in the products they've created, the cars they've built, or the batteries they've designed. It's in the lives they've touched and the world they've shaped. It's in the quiet resilience of Jack, a man who, with no grand title or position, has contributed more to society than many could ever imagine. "I never thought fixing cars would lead to this," Jack reflects one evening as he looks out across the sprawling Tesla campus. He smiles softly, the years of hard work, the late nights, and the struggle fading into a quiet satisfaction. He never imagined that his humble beginnings, fixing cars on the streets, would lead him here, to a place where his ideas and work are having a global impact. His humility has been the foundation of his success, and his selflessness has transformed the way technology is seen and used. "It's funny," Jack says to Elon one night, as they sit together in the calm of the Tesla headquarters, the soft hum of the campus in the background. "I never set out to do anything like this. I just wanted to help people fix things. But somehow, here we are. Who would have thought that something as simple as fixing cars would lead to something so big?" Elon smiles at Jack, feeling a deep respect for the man who has become so much more than a colleague. "You've done more than fix cars, Jack. You've fixed lives. You've shown us what it means to truly make a difference." Jack shifts his gaze to the distant horizon, his thoughts drifting back to the beginning of his journey. From the first time he worked on a broken car, to the moment Elon extended the invitation to join Tesla, Jack has been part of something bigger than himself. And in this moment, standing beside Elon, he realizes that the journey is never about the destination. It's about the lives touched along the way, the people empowered, the communities uplifted, and the future built with compassion at its core. As the sun sets, casting long shadows over the Tesla campus, Elon and Jack reflect on everything they've accomplished. They've created more than just a company. They've created a legacy, one that's not defined by the latest car model or the most cutting-edge technology, but by the human connections they've built and the lives they've changed. Together, they've set in motion a future where innovation serves humanity, not just the privileged few. "This is just the beginning," Elon says, his voice calm but filled with hope. "We've come so far, but we have so much more to do. The work we've started here, Jack, is just a small part of what's to come." Jack nods, feeling a quiet pride swell in his chest. His journey has taken him from fixing cars on the street to becoming a part of something that will last beyond his lifetime. Something that will continue to touch lives for generations. He may not have imagined this path, but now, looking at the legacy they've built together, he knows that every small effort he made to help others has led to this, to a better tomorrow for the world. "The real power," Jack says softly, looking over at Elon, "isn't in the technology. It's in the hearts of the people who use it, the people who it's meant to serve." Elon smiles, a deep sense of contentment settling over him. The future is still uncertain, but in this moment, they both know one thing for sure. They've built something bigger than themselves, and in that, they've found the true meaning of success. Jack takes a deep breath, the air crisp with the promise of a new beginning. He watches the sun dip lower, casting its golden light over the vast landscape before them. "You know," he says quietly, almost to himself, "there's something beautiful in knowing that what we've built will outlive us. It's not about owning the future. It's about giving people the tools to own their own destinies." Elon turns toward him, a small smile tugging at the corner of his lips. "Exactly. It's about empowering them. It's about showing people that the future isn't some distant, unreachable place. It's here, right now. And they have the power to shape it just as much as we do." Jack nods in agreement, his eyes scanning the horizon. "That's the part that excites me the most. When you think about all the minds that will come after us, all the ideas they'll generate, the solutions they'll find, our work is just the beginning. We've planted the seed, but they will be the ones who take it further, who make it grow in ways we can't even imagine." There's a brief moment of silence between them, a shared sense of awe at the vastness of what they've accomplished. Jack's voice lowers, filled with a quiet intensity. "But that's the beauty of it. It's not just about us. It's about what happens when you open a door and let others walk through it. When you let them take ownership of the future, that's when true progress happens." Elon's gaze softens, a rare vulnerability in his eyes. "I think you're right. For all our work, for all our sacrifices, the real measure of success is in how we've enabled others to dream bigger. If we can help people see what they're capable of, that's when we've done something worthwhile. That's when we've truly succeeded." Jack smiles, a weight lifting off his shoulders. In the end, it's the people who matter, the ones we're doing all this for, the ones who will take this technology, this vision, and run with it. They're the ones who will build the future. All we did was point them in the right direction." Elon looks at him, a spark of shared understanding passing between them. "And that," he says softly, "is the true meaning of progress." They both stand there for a while, contemplating the vastness of what lies ahead. The future is uncertain, yes, but they know one thing with absolute certainty. Whatever comes next, it will be because of the people who dare to take their vision further, to push the boundaries, and to believe in the potential of what's possible. And in that belief, they've found something more profound than success. They've found purpose,